We both drew Drew.
Yes. Do you want to talk about your character, Drusilla?
Yes, and we're starting with your drawing of Drusilla.
Yes, this was very early in the beginning. The first session, you were a warlock.
Very briefly, yes.
And then you decided you hated spellcasters and just wanted to punch things.
Right.
So, I drew my interpretation of your character. She's very much a damaged person. She had a drinking issue.
Mm-hmm.
She did not want to be there.
And I got out of I had a contract, and that's why I had the magic powers. And I also had the ability to forge documents, so I used that to get out of the contract.
Yeah, you're apparently able to trick the devil into
taking it back.
Just being like, oh, I guess this is rescinded, and you just went to punching instead.
Yeah. And that came up later. I was able to be like, hey, I already know this guy.
Yeah, because now that devil's like, we're trying to hunt him down, because he's black market peopling. So you're a drow, half drow?
I think half drow. I don't remember anymore.
Yeah. It's whatever.
Half
it's a
drow.
It's whatever.
Yeah. Half drow.
So you don't really have a relationship with your parents in game.
No.
So they're just like they obviously existed at some point, but they don't matter.
Yeah. She kind of wandered off.
Yeah. You went off and never went home again. Full no contact.
Yeah. I became a guard leader? Guard
Seems to be just for
captain?
the job security.
Yeah.
Because the plot we were in is that most of us started as volunteers for the guard.
Right.
And you were the one who was actually a guard, and you were supposed to be in charge of us.
Which didn't work. Because Drew didn't want to do any of it.
You did not want any leadership role.
No.
And then there's my character, who's just this upstanding pal, is just like, you have to listen to her, she's the boss! And you're like, I'm not the boss.
Why am I the boss?
Shut the fuck up, I don't want to be the boss.
She begrudgingly wound up with a lot of friends.
Yeah.
But mostly just wants her sheep and a cat.
You don't know about the sheep anymore. You want a sheep, you don't remember why.
Yeah, she knows she likes sheep, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of backstory there. There's the cat you saved from the sewer.
Mm-hmm. It's a good cat.
Yeah.
No, she collects animals and kind of collects people whether she wants to or not.
Yeah. There was a wizard who was transmogrified into a sheep and came to talk to us because Kevagen could speak with animals because he had access to the clerical spells.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't know or care that it was a wizard in there. You just liked the fluffy sheep.
Yeah.
And
then my sheep was gone.
You understood that we were doing good, and you got to hang out with the sheep, and that's all you cared about.
Yeah, and that was my happiest memory, which I then sold for a pair of earrings.
Which got stolen by a pirate in the astral plane.
So all I know is I don't have my favorite memory anymore, whatever it might have been. And I like sheep, but I don't know why. And I'm gonna kill this pirate. That's all I've got.
Yeah. We've been playing this game for a while. I don't know if that comes across in our meandering stories.
Yeah. You were trying to match the colors I used.
Yeah, I was using... Yours was already finished, and I was matching your color palette, because I drew this a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I drew this a while ago, and I didn't... I think at the time you looked at it and went, not quite, and then I just didn't revisit it.
But because you'd already drawn it, I was like, well, I'm not going to draw her, because she's drawn.
Well, that's not the purpose
solved.
of my drawing it, like...
No, but I didn't want to, redo it effectively.
I have a habit of drawing people's characters.
That's usually a good thing.
Yeah.
I just also wanted to draw my character.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on your toes.
You didn't.
Wasn't my intention to make you feel like you couldn't.
Yeah, no. I've gotten a mood about it. I don't think that was really your problem. But I did eventually draw her.
I started drawing here when I was DMing. I would draw people's characters just so that, to me, we had a shared understanding of what the character looked like, and also for new players, they fucking loved it. So
yeah, and it'll be nice when the Tuscan Patreon is back up.
Yeah,
To have some custom stuff for people.
Yeah, character art. Stick that in the end credits so you can be sitting at the bar with Tuscan.
Yeah,
that's been those projects have been moving along. They're a little changed now because the RPG space in January was quite something.
Yeah, it figured itself out.
It seems to be settling down.
And there's another speed draw that we have planned that involves using names that was previously not allowed.
Yeah, we heard some whispers that some previously pretty restricted things are not as much. I'm kind of waiting to see how,
Yeah.
like, lawyer YouTube says about it before
Yeah.
I poke the bear on that one.
But if it turns out we can use the word but not the image, then I want to do a speed draw that's like our version of things.
Yeah, our version of things that were previously considered, there's a specific
Copyright?
term for it.
Trademark?
It's not copyright, it's product identity. That's
Yeah.
what it is. So again, shading hair has always been something I'm terrible at. So I was just like, alright, I left some white gaps and just tried to, like, fill in with a different blue.
Yeah.
It worked at the end of it. Like, this entire time I was just like, this looks bad, this looks bad. And then at the end it looks fine.
I was so confused by the order of your layers.
Well, because because we both were using multiply, but I had them in the reverse order, and you came over and were incensed that I would do it like that.
Well, because you didn't use it anyway.
What are you talking about?
You're avoiding the line that would need to get darker. Like, you avoided the outline, for the most part. So, it doesn't really multiply.
Well, it was part of the plan. 'Cause it was
Did you want it to look more like a,
stained glass.
yeah.
A little bit. I mean, the way I'm doing this is kind of like I'm kind of leaving the line work alone.
Right. That's what I'm saying. When I do the multiply layer, it's specifically to make sure the line work also gets colored over. And just gets darker where it's line work.
I can see that. But I do it my way. I don't need your judgment.
Oh, no judgment.
Wow, there was judgment.
I was just confused.
There was deep, just disappointment in your eyes.
No. No, I don't think that's true.
You can't see your eyes. You can't tell me. Don't tell me my experience isn't true. How dare you minimize me? I love you. It's fine. You have opinions about layers, and I love you.
Love you too, and this is your final piece.
It's my final version of Drew, the drunk punchy who saved a cat.
With my knife shoes.
Yep.
I forgot about the knife shoes.
You had knife shoes for a while.
Yeah, whatever happened to those?
I think you traded them for something that made you punch better.
Alright, that tracks. So this is mine.
Yeah.
I don't start with Drew herself.
Well, first, to draw the character, you had to design a t-shirt.
Obviously. Because I decided to put her in more of a modern AU.
And you still had a traumatic experience with, what are they called? The elephant people.
I don't know, he's an elephant person.
Yeah, there's people in the game we're playing who are, like, bipedal, intelligent elephants with culture and everything, so... Drew had a bad experience with one.
Yeah. Got into the elephant man got in trouble, and... No. The elephant man had a fight with another friend who went a little nutso, and so they started attacking each other. And my
this
friend
was a
lost.
PC v PC battle, so...
Yeah.
Which doesn't typically happen in our group.
No, and so, my friend was dead.
But both of their characters are just like, yeah, I'm not going to de-escalate. And it's just like, alright, and then...
Yeah, and Drew did not take that well.
Yeah. The older member of our group lost that fight. And then the elephant, who was a newer member of the group, is just like, alright, so we can move on. The rest of us are just like, you just killed our friend. What are you talking about? We can move on.
You're new here, actually. And so we had to go try to get my friend back from the dead. And he had been a warforged, and that's why this tattoo, so I've got the t-shirt design and then we've got the tattoo, has his gun and then whatever sword I think Drew would maybe use. And then the dragon skull, because the other friend is... The friend who's still alive is a dragonborn, half dragon. What are you?
Kevin is the dragonborn.
Yeah.
So why not my hammer? Why did you put my skull in your design?
I needed
Are
a
you
cool
wishing
skull.
for my death?
No, I needed a cool skull. You've got
mean,
the coolest skull.
My hammer was pretty... I mean, I don't have the hammer anymore because the pirates stole it. But my hammer was pretty iconic.
Yeah, but then it would have been a boring human skull, and then 2 cool weapons. I needed a cool skull.
Or you could have used the Warforged skull. Robot skull.
No.
It would have gone with another frigate. It would have been a tribute tattoo to your departed friend who's now back alive.
Yeah, he's fine. This table is wrong. There are so many angles that are wrong, and I'm not going to fix it. I don't care. I just want the world to know that I know that it's wrong.
It's fine.
And I figure someone bought her that drink, and she didn't really want it. So the expression on her face is gonna be that. Just why?
At some point when you were designing the face, I remember looking over and telling you it looked very Claudia Black.
Yeah.
Which you appreciate. There's also, when I did art for Maudrell in the game that I ran, I based on my conversation with that player, I drew her kind of based on Claudia Black.
Yeah. It's a good face.
It's a good face.
I drew the earrings. I drew earrings based on the earrings that got stolen. Because the earrings that got stolen were like actual bugs that would bite your ear to stay on.
Yeah.
And this is just, modern AU, so...
Scarabs that gave you little throwing darts.
Yeah. Maybe she just bought a pair to be like, fine. Bugs. Whatever.
Oh, man.
Like, you can just watch her roll her eyes.
We have a game today, and I'm just remembering how, broken lost we are.
Yeah.
We're so broken lost.
Yeah. And this is the face that Drew is usually making, I think. It's just a lot of why.
Fine.
This and anger. Those are her two moods.
Her two modes used to be drinking and punching, and now it's sadness and punching.
Yeah. Which, I don't know, I guess is healthier.
Slightly. I mean, the punching hurts the people you're punching still, but,
Well, healthier for her, though. Trying to figure where her leg goes.
Healthier for her liver.
Yeah.
Do elf livers work the same as human livers?
I don't know.
I assume dwarf livers are a little bit better.
Yeah. I was gonna have her have, a torn off, like it used to be a t-shirt. But then I decided tank top.
That tracks.
But it's a worn tank top. Well, it's been through some stuff. I don't know what her hair is doing. Dear God, this is not how I normally do hair.
It looks good.
Thank you, but you really shouldn't draw every single strand of hair. Each strand does not need that kind of detail and time.
There's a lot of things you do that you say don't do.
Yes.
And then you do them.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Like my father before me.
Do the doobly doo.
Oh God, that table. Why did I leave it that way? It's just diagonal. But
I got stuck drawing tables, especially medieval tables, in a very specific way.
yeah.
So as I'm looking at your table, I'm just like, well, if this was my table, here's it, because I would do basically the wood planks.
Mm-hmm. Which I could have done. This table doesn't get any texture at all.
Yeah, it's fine.
I spent, 4 hours on this? So by the end of it, it's like, I'm not doing anything else.
It was something like that. You spent a night on it. This was an evening.
This was more than one evening, because I did the t-shirt one day.
The t-shirt was a separate evening.
And the tattoo was a separate evening. And the line art was a separate evening. Because if I had spent 4 hours total, I would have hurt myself.
True.
So, it was 4 hours total, but not all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I did. Just, close enough.
When you were putting it all together, though, that happened quick. You're like, I think I'm done. I looked over and it was just done.
Yeah. And my logic in the blue was Superman, Wonder Woman. How it's highlighted with blue every time it's black hair.
Well, because just on print, black hair is boring, so you want to highlight it with something.
Yeah, but you don't want to do gray.
Yeah. You want to put a shine on it or put a highlight color, and blue shows up well.
Yeah. Because gray or white is just going to make the character look old.
Yep.
And I like the way I shaded her skin. I was pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Just blue jeans.
She's a modern woman.
Yeah.
In medieval times.
He's just upset. I don't know, is this a metal cup?
Probably.
With something in it.
We had joked about she's drinking at a bar with an ogre bartender who asks, whenever you order a drink, he's like, do you want that fancy? And the difference is he puts the umbrella in it.
Yeah.
And then charges you twice as much.
Yeah. I tried to make this look more tattooy with a stenciling, but didn't quite go the way I was hoping, so it's close enough. A lot of this toward the end was close enough, because again, it was 4 hours later. But this is my version of Drew.
Yay! This is the canon one.
Only probably wearing closer to what you Drew were in.
Canon Drew.
Now, her t-shirt says never forget, which I think is very funny.
Well, I hope may all your punches land tonight.
Rock on.
Rock on.